so far the entire life that you've lived, JB, you've lived because of the compulsions of the body and compulsions of the mind. So the entire life of 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years you're spending to fulfill the pleasures and needs of this and the psychological pleasures of insecurity and greed and whatever else is here. But the beauty is, you're none of this. You know what true spiritual process is all about. 3 stages हैं बस उसके. Stage 1, which is your current reality. I am somebody called Abhishek. Then you progress into the journey and you reach to a stage when you say, I am nobody. Because this wall starts to disintegrate. And then you enter into profound oneness and then you declare, I am everybody. In the deep Vedantic philosophy, JB, this is a process of negation. And we can do just that right now. I will take you through the process. Yeah? Ready? Okay. Simple rule. Whatever you see outward, you're not that. Correct? This is a glass. I'm able to see it. So I'm not this glass. Correct? Proof? I'm not this glass. I'm able to see this body, my hand, sharira. So which means I am not this body. Clear? I'm able to see my thoughts. I just thought of somebody making noise up. Previously dog barking. I'm able to watch my thoughts, which means I'm not my mind also. Correct? Oh, my wife is sitting there. So I'm not this relation also, because I'm able to see this relation. Husband, wife, I'm able to see this relation. Correct? So JP, I'm not this relation. I'm not any product outside. I am not this sharir. I am not my thought process. Oh, but I'm a doctor. But I'm able to see that I'm a PhD doctor. So I'm not a doctor also. So even that's gone. Pure question remains, then who you are. But let's take a pause here. But so far the entire life that you've lived, JB, you've lived because of the compulsions of the body and compulsions of the mind. So we say that before I retire, let's say as an example, I want to accumulate X amount of wealth, future security. Who's doing that? Your mind. But that's not who you are. So you're doing all of this for somebody else. You understand what I'm saying? So the entire life of 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years you're spending to fulfill the pleasures and needs of this and the psychological pleasures of insecurity and greed and whatever else is here. But the beauty is, you're none of this. So what you really are, you're not doing anything for that. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the question comes, then who is Jebi? If Jebi is not this body, if Jebi is not this form, Jebi is not this thought process, then who is Jebi? And the Vedantic answer is that which is sitting inside and witnessing all of this. That which is sitting inside you, Jebi, and listening to and contemplating on this conversation. That's somebody who's constantly sitting and observing this play. Let's establish this a little more. You know, this somebody who's watching all the time. Right now I made this gesture. There's somebody sitting behind me who knows that Sri Anish has made this gesture. But this somebody will never interfere. This somebody will only watch. I'll prove of this now. You go to sleep in the night. You get into something called dream sleep state. So you are watching your dreams. Okay? चलो ऐसा बोल सकते हैं कि something is still conscious, part of the brain is still conscious to witness the dreams. Then every night you get into a dream, into a state called deep sleep state. Pure deep sleep. No dreams, right? All cognitions are off, as we were speaking. But in that, next morning you wake up, and what do you declare? I slept like a baby. Profound sleep after many days I had, correct? But all cognitions were off. Who was watching? Who declared in the morning that I slept like a baby last night? Some part of JB was awake. Who was recording that, oh, it's the deep sleep I'm experiencing right now. Oh, I was longing for this deep sleep for days. That's what truly consciousness is all about. That's what you really are. But the issue is, right now when you're listening, you're totally entangled in this body-mind complex. And you're not able to disconnect from body-mind context and see, oh, you're sitting at the back and witnessing this entire play of lights and darkness, of shadow playing on the screen of life. What is in between, which is not allowing me to see this? The construct called Aham of Jebi. The identity that Jebi has formed. And the identity that Jebi believes Jebi is. That identity is the wall in between. I remember Abhishek and I were having a conversation, I think this was Delhi or somewhere. And I said, Abhishek, you know what true spiritual process is all about? 3 stages हैं बस उसके. Stage 1, which is your current reality. I am somebody called Abhishek. Then you progress into the journey and you reach to a stage when you say, I am nobody. Because this wall starts to disintegrate. And then you enter into profound oneness. And then you declare, I am everybody. Me sitting there, me listening there, me thinking there, me understanding there, etc., etc. 3 stages. But what we are trying to do, it's process, right? Of dissolution of the identity. Are we ready? Do we really want to do that? Oh, we are happy on the periphery. So that's what practice does. Practice gives you an illusion of something happening, but you're peripheral.
But is a spiritual process then? So I mean, I can intellectually I get it,
Ji.
right? Of negating all of these things that I'm not, and intellectually I get this that there is something, there is something inside. Is that the spiritual process and the experiential reality of that?
That's a spiritual process, and you reach to the existential reality of that.
So the intellectual, so let's say that you adopt this introspection as a daily reflection time.
Okay.
Right? But then you get to this point of negation in the first day itself. What do you do after that?
See, that's what we said in India. Guru bina jnana na hove. You need a teacher, that's the reason. Because if you read the only Vedantic text, they'll stop here. And there's a problem then. Why there's a problem? Because you're negating your identity, but you're not replacing it with anything. And there's a law in nature. In nature, nature does not like vacuum. There's no vacuum here. You delete something, you got to fill that with something. What do you fill that up with? You fill that up with Sangha, community. Earlier, you only loved 2 boys that you have. Now you start to love all of us. Your family unit starts to expand. You're filling this. You understand what I'm saying? You fill this with seva. You fill this with compassion towards people you don't even know, to trees that don't belong to you, to the fruits that you will never get from the trees. You're not doing any charity to the world. You're filling your own void. You understand what I'm saying?
Is that the fulfillment of the spiritual process?
It's the completion of the spiritual process. So please understand what's happening, JB. At one end, I am cutting myself, chopping myself. All the non-truth about me, I'm just cutting away. And all I'm adding is lot of love and compassion and oneness, which is my true reality. Because I said, spirituality's got 3 dimensions. I am somebody, I am nobody, I am everybody. So the dimension of everybody you started integrating as part of your sadhana.